he should already have won 3 MVPs in a row. Yeah, who's your MVP this year? And again, we'll reiterate that the way we do this is who we think will end up deserving it. We're not trying to predict what our media brethren, much as we love them, are going to try to do. That adds a whole other element. This is just who we think is going to add the most on-court value this season in basketball.
My number one is the same player who has been the best in each individual regular season the last 3 years, and that's Nikola Jokic. And Jokic is he's the best offensive engine in the league right now, and he has taken steps up defensively. And there are other players who can absolutely contend. I don't think that this is a foregone conclusion, but I think that he is the front runner if he is healthy, and I think the pretty clear one.
I mean, to me, he should already have won 3 MVPs in a row. I thought he was better than Embiid last year. He and the Nuggets took their foot off the throttle towards the end of the season, but he still is just the best regular season player in basketball. He's also got the best health record of these guys. I'm going to throw Giannis Antetokounmpo in as my number 2. I think he's just primed to have a monster year playing with Dame Lillard. Now, he is coming off the knee surgery. Maybe the minutes could kind of catch up with him. I think Philly's still going to be solid. Joel, Derek Bodner was saying he's kind of eased into this preseason. He doesn't expect him to start off amazingly well, but Joel has been the second best regular season player in basketball over the last 3 years. I don't see any great reason to depart from that. I think that Giannis just is going to,
I have somebody else at 3, and remember, I've talked about this before. The way I do it is that the person who I think is third most likely to finish first, and that is Stephen Curry. I think he has one more year potentially as the best or second best offensive player. I think the pathway would be that Jokic misses some time and the Warriors finish like the 2 seed. And he can, that the Warriors have a good defense again. And I think Curry has that. He has that fastball for maybe one more year. And with Embiid, the idea, I think that the challenge is going to be, can he beat that guy on both ends of the floor? And I'm thinking that the Sixers need so much from him. And I mean, he had such a wonderful year last year. But I mean, I have him 4th. It's not any huge slight here, 3 versus 4. But I think Curry might get it this year.
Yeah, Embiid's life is going to be a little bit harder. We may see his efficiency drop, but I think the Sixers' defense is going to be better than it's been, and I think he might be able to be a part of that. And hopefully, Nick Nurse can find some creative ways to use him, maybe by a zone or things along those lines. But Curry, particularly a player that old, playing enough games, playing enough minutes, when we're talking about the most valuable player. And he's turning 36 this year. There is no track record really of a player who turns 36 in that season playing at an MVP level. So Father Time, I think it's going to have just a little bit of a impact for him. I mean, if Curry's really going to be that good, then, the Warriors should be right in the mix. I'm not sure that he's at that level anymore. I think there's a possibility that 50-point game against Sacramento might kind of be his last hurrah, just like this guy is clearly a top 5 player in the league. And I'm not putting it past him. He keeps himself in amazing shape, but, Father Time is undefeated. And maybe he's a top 10 player now instead of top 5. And then I'll round it out with Luka Doncic, still a really, really good basketball player. And I don't think he's going to be in contention to actually win the award from our colleagues because they're just not going to be a good enough team. And then KD would be my number 5 there. I mean, he has his own concerns about how much he's going to play, but I think the Suns are going to be really good. I think his life's going to be relatively easy on the offensive end. I think he's going to be ridiculously efficient this season. I think he's still a top 5 player when healthy.
The biggest question for me with KD is an underappreciated, maybe other than this podcast, part of Durant's season was the way he played defense on Brooklyn last year. Will he bring that to the same degree this year? I genuinely don't know.